All right. Hello, everyone. I am Candy Martin from Martin Business Solution at www.martinbusinesssolution.com. And today we're going to be talking about business planning. This is a part of our initiative, the MBS Innovative Cohort, where we teach entrepreneurs, where we help business owners make life better. At least that's our goal, and that's what we hope that we are doing. And the way we do that is we offer financial education, and we also offer business education. And what that looks like is in your business, we help you figure out, should you start a business? If you've already started a business, should you close it? Should you keep going? Should you hire somebody? Should you get a new product? I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And then on the personal side, we help you do financial planning, where we do an assessment, find out where you are, and sit down with you and find out where you're trying to go, and then we help you get there. And so that is my job today. I am going to put on my educator hat, and we're going to get right into business planning. And I know a lot of times people will say, well, I'm just winging it, or I'm just doing what everybody else does, or I'm Googling, or whatever, however you've been doing it. No judgment. This is a safe place. A lot of us start businesses because it's a passion of ours. It's something that we have a natural talent for, or it could be something that we fell into, meaning that we were helping somebody, and next thing you know, we were doing the business, and we just kind of took off with it. And so it's a safe space. There is no right or wrong way. It's your baby, it's your business. But what I want to help you do is to clean it up and to polish it to where you can become bankable, which means you can take your business plan into a bank or to an investor and say, hey, invest in what I'm doing. Or you can also have, other reasons for doing a business plan. And so that's one of them. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's get this thing started. All right. So the objective, like I just said, is to get you a yes. Your business plan should be so convincing and so simple that you would get a yes. You don't want it so so complicated that somebody got to get an encyclopedia to read it. And if you know what an encyclopedia is, that means you don't want it to be that ancient that they have to break that out to read your business plan. But you also don't want it to be so vague that they don't quite understand what it is you're trying to do. You want your business plan to speak for you, and you want it to be a tool and a resource that you can pull out as needed, and so that you can get a yes. So that's my goal today, is to walk you through this. All right, so who needs a business plan? Hey, I get a lot of times, well, I don't have one, why not? So who needs a business plan? If you have a good idea and you're thinking about starting a business, or you're not quite sure, you need a business plan. If you just started a business, you're fresh out the gate, no experience, you're just, starting from scratch, you need a business plan. You've already launched your business, you're up and rolling, life is good, you got a few bumps here and there, but you're working it out, but you've already started doing the business, you would need one. Acquiring means you are taking on another business that's already established, and so you're more like a plug and play, getting a business. And a lot of times, this is where I find people do not do business plans, mostly because they think, okay, the company has a system, everything is already done, it's a business in a box, all I have to do is follow their guidelines. Even though I'm going to be independent, I'm acquiring this business. You should still do a business plan to you, how you're going to run the business. Even though it's already preset, the system is there, no changes are needed, you still want to figure out how you're going to plug this into your life, into your business, and how you do things. If your business is doing well and you're scaling, you're just off to the races, and it's really turning into income for you and your family, it's good to have a business plan. And if you already have one, this is a great place to go in and reassess it to see if there are any changes that need to be done, because things have been scaling. And so some of the things we did last year or 2 years ago or 5 years ago may need to change that, keeping up with technology or personnel, just things of that nature will cause you to have to edit and to revamp your business plan. Getting into ownership. So a lot of times, especially with entrepreneurs, there's a difference in being an entrepreneur and a business owner and having ownership. And so we want to make sure that the goal, if it's a goal of yours, because some people, hey, I just want to kind of do my business part-time on the side. I'm not really looking to, you know, grow so big, and that's fine. You have to define how you want to take this business. So in ownership, meaning you're in a position to where now you've built this thing and you need a business plan because you're thinking about selling it, or you're thinking about bringing on more partners, or you just want to really solidify your position in the industry in that particular marketplace. And so that would be a good place to do a business plan or to revamp the one you have. And then, of course, one of our favorites, the exit strategy. A business plan will help you with an exit strategy. And, you want to have a well put together business plan so that someone is going to, if you're selling it, just cashing out or closing, either way, if you're going to be selling it to someone or if you're going to actually just be shutting it down and dissolving it, either way, you want an exit plan, and a business plan will help you do that. All right. All right. So I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna talk as if nobody has a business plan, never thought about doing one. That way we start from the basics and everybody gets covered. Those of you who have really nice fancy business plan and you're just taking this class because you like me and you just want to show me some support, kudos to you. So I'm gonna start from the basics so everybody gets everything from start to finish. All right, so we want to do a little research. And we want to research what I call the 4Ws. And what I mean by that is whether you are starting or you've been in business 6 years, doesn't matter. Every now and then you want to do some research. If you've been in business, you want to, hey, let me see what's going on. What are my competitors doing? What's going on in the world? What is the next generation working on? You always want to be thinking forward. So you start doing some research and just kind of doing some research within your own company. Like, let me check under the hood. Let me see how we're doing. So you want to do your research, and your research is what? What type of business do you want to have? What type of product? What type of service? What type of clientele? What type of price point? All the what. You want to do that first. Or like I said, if you've already started, these are the things. So I guess I could put this disclaimer in there. If you've already started a business, you can always start over. So I don't care how long you've been in business. Today could be day one. And so you want to treat it as if you haven't launched and you're just starting. Because sometimes we get in business and we just start doing stuff. We're not doing our paperwork. We're just off to the races. We're making all this money. And then everything is up in the air and it's in shambles. But it's okay. You can start over. So this will be, one of the ways you can do that is to treat this workshop, this masterclass, as if you were starting over. And it's okay to start over. So anyway, so you want to find out what the what are and the will, meaning, will you be dedicated to the process? A lot of us want to start businesses, but whoa, we did not account for the late nights, the early mornings, the no's, the rejection, the products that we ordered that came in a box and they were all broken. What is your willpower in this? Will you stay dedicated? Will you have what it takes? Will you have the tenacity? Will you be able to do this while you're working? For those of you who have a full-time job elsewhere, will this work for your family? Will this work for your current situation? So you need to know all the wills, all right? The why. Why you in a business? I mean, you could easily just clock in, clock out somewhere else, get a paycheck on Friday, and be done with it. Why do you want to start a business? What is your end goal? Now, that doesn't mean that that's set in stone forever. Just think about it. When we were 5 or 6, we're gonna, some of us are doing what we thought we were gonna do when we were 5 or 6. Some of us are not, but what I mean is, think about it. A child say, well, I want to be a fireman when I grow up, and grows up being a librarian. I mean, like, totally different. So it doesn't mean that it's set in stone, but what is your why today? Why do you want to start the business, or why do you want to continue in the business? Why? And you can have more than one, and you can change it. I want this business because, I love selling, let's say lotion. I'm into lotion, okay? Well, next week you might be into the candles. So, it does not have to be set in stone, but we need to know today so that that's going to be part of what drives the rest of the business plan. We need to have a reason, Are you starting a business just to make money? That's possible. People do it all the time. They have no interest in the products or the services, but they know that it makes money. So they acquire the business or start the business because it does generate income, and that's fine. Whatever the why is. And the who will you be in the business? How will you show up? Who you going to work with? Who are you going to be your employees? If you are you going to have employees? Who are going to be your clients? All the who's, and you want to, and I know a lot of time, just before I have, this is when I do this presentation, I haven't even gotten to like the third slide, and people are like, oh, you know what? I don't know. I think I need to rethink this thing. I don't know if I have to do all this. So, but your why will drive you to continue. So don't be discouraged. It's a blessing to me, afforded to me a blessing to be able to even put this presentation together, because I didn't always have it all, and I don't have it all figured out, but I had this part figured out through trial and error. Trust me, I did a lot of the who, what, when, and the why am I still here? And another W that's not on here is the whatever, like whatever, whatever it's gonna be, it's gonna be. So I get it. It could be a little overwhelming. All right, so let's get into some of the workings of a business plan. And this is one of the things that sometimes when we get here, people are like, well, I've done that before. I've done a SWOT analysis before. I never thought to put that in my business plan. So one of the reasons you want to put this in the business plan is because you want to determine, should this be in the business plan as something you're going to do? Or should it be in the business plan as something you're going to source out? So which means, are you in or are you out? So there are certain things I love to do in my business. And then there are certain things I hate to do in my business. So you have to decide, and doing your SWOT analysis, looking at your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats, that will help you determine, okay, these are the things that I can handle. I don't have to pay anybody for this. I don't have to outsource this. I can save money here. I can save time, because sometimes time is more valuable than money in some cases. So you want to know what your strengths are. What do you bring to the table? What can you do like no other? You want to know what your strengths are. And not necessarily just your strengths for the business. You want to list all of your strengths, because sometimes some of our strengths that we use in our personal life, we can actually use it in our business. So for example, at home, if you are super organized, like your kitchen cabinets the food is all organized and it's just all color coded and all that great stuff. If that's you could even bring that same skill set into the business, have the office organized, the paperwork, everything color coded. So you want to know what your strengths are. Your weaknesses, things that you don't like to do or things that you don't know how to do. And as business owners, especially small business owners, sometimes we got to realize we're not that good in some things. There's some things we just not that good at. You need to get somebody else to do it. You know how the younger kids are saying now, get somebody else to do it. There are some things you need to be telling yourself, get somebody else to do it. And so you need to determine what those are. Weaknesses may not always just be things that you do tangibly. It could be mindset. It could be certain things that you're not fully persuaded by. There are some things like, I don't know if I should do that. So if you have doubt in certain areas, that could be a weakness. Weakness could be lack of funding, lack of money. So that's part of the reason why we want to do a business plan. We definitely want to change that. And so what are your weaknesses, your opportunity? What things are out there that your company or your business, that whether you're already doing or something that that, hey, if I do this business, it's going to open up this opportunity for me. What opportunities are tied to your business that it can give you a place of position? For instance, if I've lived across the street from let's see. If you lived across the street from a snowball stand, we're almost to the end of snowball season. So I'm in Louisiana and we have snowball season. Yeah. So let's say that you live across the street. So one of the opportunities could be you can have a straw business, straws. You make straws. The snowball thing needs straws and spoons. That could be an opportunity. What about your business can give you a place of position, a place of taking opportunities and receiving opportunities? So you want to know that. What are your threats? What are the things that your competition pose a threat to you on? You want to know that. Knowing your, and I don't want to use the word enemy. When you use the word competition, you want to know how the competition have the up on you so that you can improve in that area, or how you can pivot what you do to make you stand out even more. What would set you apart? Because knowing your threat, and another thing, a threat, the things that you don't want to relinquish, that you should. So, for example, if you hire a secretary full-time, but you're still answering the phone, what are some of the threats that could sabotage your business? What are some of the things that you need to do personally to step back so that your business can be successful? Or what are some of the things if you don't do, your business won't be successful? And look, a lot of times people say, well, shouldn't I be taking this class after I get started? This is a great class to take before you get started, because you get to do it all on paper before you spend the money. When you do it all on paper before you spend the money, you get to work out a lot of things, versus those of us, myself included, who have started businesses without planning, and we're planning as we go, or trying to fix the plan as we go. So doing business planning prior to does save you time and money. So yes, you want to go through this process regardless, as if you have or have not started the business. All right. So why are we here? So why take a business planning class? I mean, this lady she is doing it out. I mean, she is drawing it out, putting it here, changing this, changing that. And that's kind of what I want you to envision us doing. I want you to envision us in a room with a wall, and we're putting things here and putting things there. And it's okay to move things, to scratch things off, to add things back, so to throw things away and to bring on new things. So we want to be able to strategize. A business plan will help you come out with your ideas, to get them out of your head onto paper so that you can look at it. I am a big component of writing, physically writing, putting the pen in your hand. I am an extremist, should they say, when it comes to pen and paper. I know there are a lot of digital tools, and I do embrace digital tools. I have a lot of them, computers, computer programs, all that. I'm a big fan of technology. I believe technology does help us speed things along. I couldn't imagine life without it right now. However, when it comes to business planning, if you would just indulge me for a little bit, do it on paper first. Before you type it up all fancy with all the pictures and all, I highly recommend that you just do it on paper. All right. So you want to be able to strategize, you want to be able to move things around, you want to see it, kind of be able to step back, walk away, come back, and reevaluate what your strategy that you put together. A business plan will help you stay focused, because I don't know if you guys if you ever seen the movie Finding Nemo, and you got Nemo. I have a grandbaby, okay? So I like these kind of things. So anyway, so we're gonna use this today, all right? So in the movie, Dory, the little fish, she kind of gets sidetracked very easy. Her and Nemo will be swimming along to Walmart or somewhere, and then she sees the donut shop, and she's like, "Oh, donuts!" And she just make a whole U-turn, completely forget where they were headed, because she saw another opportunity. And that's how we are as entrepreneurs. I'm telling you, we are problem solvers. We see something on fire, we're going to put it out. Now, we're already over here doing something else, but we see something else, and now we got to stop doing this to go do that. And we're just kind of bouncing around. And to me, I think it's a gift. But, we're in business to make money, to earn a living, to help people, to improve lives of others. So we got to stay focused. We have to have something. So a business plan is almost like a business Bible that says, hey, you said that you were going to make t-shirts, not sell donuts. So you need to stick to the plan, whip out the playbook. What are we doing? This is what I'm doing. Now, if you want to start another business, you need another business plan for that business, okay? You can't take the business plan for business A and use it for business B. So that's why I said we're easily distracted, just like Dory. So we got to stay focused, Oh, they're making $1,000 more over here in this business, but what was the plan? Stick to the plan, or develop a plan for the new business, all right? Secure funding. That's another reason why you want a business plan. Banks love business plans. And like I said, they don't want anything too fancy where they can't understand it. They don't want something so vague and so basic that they don't have any inspiration or can't see the future in your business plan. So the reason why we're here, we want to strategize, we want to come up with some ideas, come up with some solutions, and we want to stay focused so that we can get things done. And then we also want to be able to secure funding if that's something that you're looking to do. And a business plan will help you do that. All right, so I'm gonna pause here for a second. If anyone has a question that they want to openly ask, this would be a good place because we're gonna get into this homework, should I say, of the things. I'm gonna give you the things that you're gonna work on your business plan, and then I'm gonna explain each line item. I'm gonna go back. So we have any questions, you can put them in the chat. Let's see, chat. All right. Cool. All right. Keep swimming. I know, right, Amina? I'm like Dory sometimes. I gotta tell myself, stop. No, we're going this way. We're going this way. So yeah, I have to stay focused. You have to be intentional about staying focused too. Let me tell you, I mean, it's just a whirlwind of opportunity. Really, no excuses for none of us to not be where we want to be. It's just that staying focused, staying committed to the process, and having a good support system. So there are a lot of things that challenge us, but if there were no challenges and life was perfect, which it's not, I think we all would be where we want to be. So in the meantime, we just got to keep working harder and be intentional about being focused. So in your business plan, so these are the things that we need to have in it. Your executive summary is kind of where I'm gonna pause a little bit there. Let's see, I'm looking at my little notes. So yeah, so your company name, address, phone number, brief description of the business, target market, strategy, people, experiences, and analysis. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go down each line item. So this would be a good place to take notes, so that when we're not on Zoom and you're watching a replay or you're in there doing your business plan, you can kind of remember what is meant to go in each one of these categories. So the first one, pretty self-explanatory: company name, address, phone number. It's also a good idea if you have a logo and if you have a tagline. This would be a great place to put that as well. So if you have, and I'm kind of taking a sidebar. There's another class that we do where it's called Are You Legit? And we get into how to register your business with the Secretary of State and the federal government, all that, and and what forms you got to have and all that. We'll get into all that, but that's in another session. But I will pause and say, make sure your company name doesn't put you in a box unless you want to be in a box. And so let me explain what I mean. If you're going to open up an ice cream shop and that's all you're going to do for the rest of, what, like I'm all about ice cream, I'm not doing anything else, then you can call it Sally's Ice Cream Parlor or Sally's Ice Cream Shop or whatever, because the name says I sell ice cream. Now, you don't want to be selling tennis shoes in Sally's Ice Cream Shop. The two don't go together. But if you name the business Sally Company Incorporated or Sally's and Associates, or it's so vague, it could be anything, then you can take the name and put it on whatever. You can put it here and you can put it there. But if you put it in Sally's Ice Cream Shop, you better be selling ice cream. Okay. I don't want to come in the ice cream shop and see you selling tennis shoes and socks. We all know that place. Y'all know that place. Y'all go in, y'all can get everything. You can get your hair color. and some silverware all in the same place. You already know it. All right, so you want a brief description of the business. So in order to get a brief description of the business, you may have to take another sheet of paper and write down like everything the business does and just like throw paint at it. Like, okay, we do this and that, just get it all out of your head and then step back and say, how can I put this into 2 or 3 sentences? It's a challenge. We also do a course on how to pitch your business, how to make your business attractive to clients or investors. And in that, we take all of our ideas and put it into 30 seconds. It is a challenge. So I get it. So you want to kind of have that same approach with the description of your business. You don't want it to be so long. It's like people get lost, and you don't want it to be so short. They're like, well, what do you really do? So that you got to find that balance. Brief description of your target market. Who are your people? Now, anybody that click on my website and pay for a service, I will service them. So it's not like if you're not in my target box, I can't service you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you gotta have somebody like, hey, this is my group, my one group, they focus, of people that I'm gonna target, and I'll catch everything else along the way. Meaning that, hey, I'm targeting women that are 35 and older, that are making 6 figures, that live in the South. Okay, that's very precise. Okay, that is your target market. But that doesn't mean that a male that's 59 from up north can't buy your product or service. It just means that when you put your marketing dollars out, your marketing dollars are spent on 35 and older, female, lives in the South, makes 6 figures. That is what it's going to kind of keep you, because think about it. When you're watching football, who are they targeting? People that like to watch football. Now, somebody who doesn't like to watch football, if they're passing by the TV and they see the commercial and they happen to like the product and buy the product, great. But they're not spending their marketing dollars on that person. They're spending their marketing dollars on the person that likes to watch TV. I mean, they like to watch football. So that is what you want to do. You want to have a target market so that you can have your marketing dollars that work for you and your time and energy. Social media can be such a thing, like, oh my gosh, I got to post here and post there. It will have you everywhere if you're not focused on who are you targeting. So you want to have your target market precise for your financial purposes and also for your time. So who are you spending your time with and who are you spending the money on? You want to also have a description of the strategy to make the business a success. So especially if you're going to go to lenders, they want to know, what's your strategy? How do you know that this is going to last? How are you maneuvering your business? How do you plan to take it from where it is to the next level? What's the strategy? You want to have that in there. And you don't have to give away your secret sauce, but you do want to have some clear guidelines like, hey, we're going to order this amount of product at this point in time, or we're going to bring, whatever it is, what's the key to making your business successful? Because remember, you want to think like an investor. If an investor was to read your business plan, would they invest in your business? Okay. Brief description. And also, this is for you too. So you're not everywhere doing everything. Brief description of the owners and key people, including names, contact, and information and experience. So almost like a resume in the middle of this business plan, you want to have the owner, their name, contact, email, experience, 23 years in the military, whatever the experience is. The secretary, her name, her contact. She had 12 years of customer service, because you got to remember, in a business plan, if you want to sell the business or if you want investors, you're telling them, hey, if you buy this business from me, these are the things you're getting, including experience. People don't want to do things the way we did it. They don't want to go the long route. They rather buy it and cut out the middleman and save themselves some time. So showing that there's experience in this business, I bring experience. I have customer service skills from way back when that I'm bringing into this business. Your hobbies, the things that you're good at that they normally would have to pay someone to do, but you can do it naturally. Okay. A brief analysis of financial needs of the business, including planned use of borrowed or invested funds. So even if you're not necessarily going to get an investor or a business loan, you still want to have a breakdown of the financials of the business. But in this, you want to give clear, precise reasons as to what you're going to do with the money. And it would, I'm not saying you got to say I'm gonna buy 3 paper clips. I'm not saying you got to get that minute with it, but we're using the funds for working capital, for payroll, for new equipment. We want to rebrand our website. It's gonna cost us $2,500 to get our website redone, and blah blah blah. Almost like an account, and you want to do that. And if you're not seeking investor, the beauty of doing this also will let you know what you need to come up with to cover the cost. So let's say you're not necessarily looking for investors, you're going to do it yourself. You don't want to count the cost because you need to know what it is. So any questions before I move away from this one? I know that was a lot, but this is your homework. And I'm hoping that, that once you get it together, you schedule a consultation so that we can look at it. Let's see how you did. Answer any questions you may have. And I'll tell you how you can do that at the end. So this is your homework. We're not finished. So I know this is already a lot, but guess what? You can do it. I got faith in you. And it'll be fun. And then you'll be surprised. You'll be like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did this, And then you'll also look, hey, you may also learn that, hey, this is not the business for me, or this is not the time for me to do this business. And that is okay. And that's one, it's another reason you want to do a business plan. You want to know, is this the right time? Is this my purpose? Is this what God had me to do? Should I be doing this business? So this business planning will also help you with that. All right, so why you? I mean, even if you get the green light, you're going to do this, you got all the funding, everything is good, and you're going to open up this ice cream shop. I must want some ice cream, but we're going to talk about ice cream today. So why you? So this is part 2 of your homework. And I really want you to do this. If you sit and do it, and remember, you got to take time for you and take time for your business. And if you haven't started this, even more the better for you. But then those of us that were 10, 12 years in the business and then decided to do a business plan, I mean, so, kudos to you if you haven't started. So why you? What is so unique about your business that clients would want to, come to you? What is it with you? What's the image for your company? Do you want to be attractive for the younger generation, older generation, middle generation? What is the image? We're professional, or we're laid back, we're a fun company, we are a no-nonsense company. We're a mixture. What is your image? What are you projecting? How do you want people to perceive your company? How will your business compete effectively, in the marketplace? You make the best ice cream. So does some of I'm not gonna name those companies, but the other companies, with the ones where we go, when we want ice cream, we just gotta have it. What is your competitor? How can you compete? What are you gonna give them that's gonna let clients take notice of you? How will you price it? How much will it cost? How will your customer service process work? Are you going to have payment plans, not payment plans? Are you going to take the money up front? You're going to take a deposit? All of that has to be worked out, and it should be in some sort of system, because you got to be thinking, as great as you are, what if something was to happen to you today? Can somebody in your family, should that be your choice, get your binder, open it up, and run your business? Why you want to answer these questions? Well, one of the reasons why you want to answer these questions. The other one, so you can stay focused. Number 5, will the business products and services be low cost, high end, somewhere in the middle? Are we going to be, helping single moms, or are we looking for account executives? what type of products, who is our people? Are we going to have our products in a glass behind some kind of glass casing where they need a key? Or am I going to do the fruit market on Saturday morning? Well, like where you going to be at in this thing? Okay. And am I gonna get out and get into new spaces, or it's gonna be just where I started, where I'm staying, or am I gonna venture out? Am I gonna be local, statewide, national, global? So where am I gonna be? And where my product gonna, if you're doing products, what company is gonna develop my products? Or am I gonna do it all myself? I'm gonna have to get a warehouse, or am I gonna do it at home? All of those things need to be considered as well. All right. So, vision. What right now today, whether you have a business or not, right now at this moment, what is the vision going forward? I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm just saying, what is your vision? Your vision 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 minutes from now, in some cases, what is the vision for the business? You got to write that out. And look, for fun, put a date by it. And go back next year and be like, you know what? I still didn't do that. Or look, I did that plus some. Hold yourself accountable by putting a date, putting a date by that vision. What's your mission? What's the business, what does the business do for the target audience? What is your purpose? You got a vision and then you have a mission. So, what you want to write, and look, and most people on their website, I don't have it on mine. I just thought about that. I don't have it on my website. I have one. I have a vision. I have a mission. It's not on my website. But anyway, I'll get ready to say, if you put it on your website or your social media, make those two things fun. Like, want it to stand out. Like, hey, this is our vision. This is our mission. A lot of churches, if you go to a church, or an organization, like a Boy Scout, Girl Scout, and all those sort of things, or a ministry or a church, they have what they call vision statements and mission statement. Our vision is, and our mission is to do this and to do that. And so take that same concept into your business. Nonprofit organizations generally promote their nonprofit using their mission and vision statement. So that'd be a good place if you need some examples to go and check and see how they use those. Your goal. Now, there are two sets of goals that I like to think of. They're the goals that, hey, my ice cream shop, I need to get a new sign for it by the end of the year. Or the goal could be, hey, I want to be in 3 states in the next 5 years. So there's two sets of goals. There's the goals, like your dreams, like, hey, your aspirations of where you want to be. And then there are the goals like, hey, I need to turn this paperwork in by Friday. So do both. You want to have your goals, like, your goal setting. Things you would do at a vision board party would be this type of goal. And then you also want to have your other goals, like, hey, I need to get some stuff done, with some dates by it, some deadlines. Your objectives, how are you going to accomplish this? Now, we just said what our vision was. We got our mission. We're off to the races with our goals. The objectives are what processes I need to do to get this done. Like what avenue, what venue, what purpose, what person I'm going to, what's my objective? What am I trying to accomplish in the end? And then action. One of my favorite things is to have action items. And funny thing is, and I don't know about anybody else if you guys can relate, but my action item list, it's like never ending. It's like a water hose. And I'm like, I just checked something off. Somebody added 3 more things. So action list, these on tomorrow, this is what I'm doing. On next Thursday, I'm meeting with this person to get this done. So this is my checklist. Your ideas that you have, jot it down. And where does it go? Does it go in my vision, my mission? Is it a goal? Is it an objective? Is it an action item? Get your ideas out. All right. All right, your SMART goal. So when you're doing, let me go back real quick. So in your, I don't know, this is probably like your third homework assignment I've given to you already. So you guys are gonna be busy over the next couple of weeks. So, because our next class is in 2 weeks, so I hope to see you back. But so you have when you're doing your vision, your mission, your goals, and your objectives, when you're getting all that stuff done, you want to couple that with your SMART goal. Okay, you want to be very specific. You want something that you can measure, whether it's time or quantity. You know, like, hey, I'm going to get this done by this date, or I need this amount of product, you know, or whatever. You want to be able to measure what you just said that you were going to do. Is there a deadline, or is it a quantity? You know, what do you need to do? Is it achievable? Come on, let's be realistic, you know, achievable and realistic. And like I tell people, we can do anything. We put our mind to it. And I want you to dream big. Think outside of the box. You can do it. I just need you to not put pressure on yourself that's too overwhelming. Push yourself, but not pressure yourself, if you can follow me there. So what I mean by achievable, meaning, do you have the resources to do it? Is it something that you have permission to do? Is it something that you can even carry out? And when I ask those questions, I mean, without limit, take the limits off, you know. For example, if I said I wanted to put on a piano concert with a live orchestra, I can't play not one instrument. So I need to be something that's achievable, which means in my case, I probably have to hire some people to do it. So am I being realistic in saying that I'm going to do it myself? That wouldn't be realistic. Realistically, I can do it if I outsource it and maybe be the brains behind the scenes. But I would need to bring on a consultant, you know, like, hey, how do you run an orchestra? You know, I want to do this symphony, you know, so I can achieve it, but how? Okay. And realistically, I couldn't do it by myself because I can't play not one instrument. Okay. All right. And then what's your time frame? You know, like when you're putting these goals, you know, if we don't put some time limits on it, if we don't bind it by time, it'll just be another great idea that we did not do. So you gotta have a time frame. Now, nobody can't tell you how soon or how fast or how long, but you can. You can say, I'm gonna do this in 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, 5 decades. When are you going to do it? When is this supposed to be done? Because if not, we're just going to be going and going and going. All right. One of our favorite things, trust the process, something we don't like to do. We don't like to wait, and we don't like trusting things outside of our control. So, so I want you to kind of take some notes here. Trusting the process could look like kind of going through, walking everything that we just talked about. Now let's walk it through it. Let's walk through it. Location. Describe for your business the location. Is it something online? Is it brick and mortar? Is it a combination of the two? Where's the location of this business? You know, where we're going to be. And also in that, what are the advantages and disadvantages? You know, once you kind of going through that, and you're saying, okay, I'm gonna do an online business, so well, I gotta have internet connection, I have to have a good computer, I have to have, blah, blah, blah. If I'm gonna get a store, I have to have this. These are the permits I have to have, just all of that, the location. I find that if you're gonna sell ice cream, where you're going to be selling it at? Are you going to sell it in Alaska or Florida? You know, kind of those things. Where? All right. And the state, whatever state you're opening your business in, what are the laws around that industry? Be very specific. Not just, oh, you can open up a business and this is all you got to get. No, for this industry, these are the rules. Okay. The things that you're going to need are your location. Is there zone restriction? Is there certain things you can do in this area that you can't do in others? What permits you need? Just, kind of going through that list. When you talk about location, it's not just about, okay, let me get a store and put my stuff in here and sell it. You have to dial it all the way through. What is required? If I do an online business, what is required? Okay. Your facilities, like let's get to the exact place. So let's say you settled on, I'm going to do hybrid, which means I'm going to do some online, some in person. So you've gotten really specific about it. And so now we want to talk about our facility. Inside of whether it's like I said, if you're going to be doing it online, your computer, are you going to be, you're going to have a virtual background, all those things. What is going to go on this virtual platform? If it's in person, I'm going to have a 2,500 square foot building, and I'm going to put some things on the right, some things on the left. Get very specific about the exact space. And business plans, when it comes to this is so important. Location is very important for business because location can also determine your clientele. Location can also determine your foot traffic. Okay. And it can also determine your level of commitment, because if your location is 90 minutes from your home, you got to get in your car and you got to drive. So location is something that you really want to take into consideration, and the exact space of it. What is it going to be? Like, for example, for me, my office, I don't like the color of the walls. So for me, I already know right now I'm going to have to paint them. My exact space. So I picked out the location, the building is here, but once I have it, now what's going to be the exacts about it, okay? And if you haven't started, this is a great place for you to be very specific about what you want. You meet with a realtor and she shows you something that's not in your business plan, you can say, no, this is not meeting what I require, okay? Equipment that you're gonna need. So in your exact space, what type of equipment do you need? So those things, you wanna write all that out. Products and services. Kind of self-explanatory. What products are you gonna offer? What services are you gonna offer? And you wanna be very, very specific as well, because you don't wanna be like jewelry, just everywhere, doing everything. Selling perfume and donuts in the same store. So you wanna be specific. Now, unless you're gonna be like a retail store that you can make, have groceries, get your tire changed, if you're gonna do that, you gotta get, I strongly suggest start with one and add on. Because every product or service that you add on, as in this example, it has another process to it. Step number 1, step number 2, number 3, for every product, for every service. How can a client get this from you? How are you going to get it back to them? So for every product, every service, there's a process. There's a system. So, all right. All right, so I'm going to pause it here for Q&A. This will be the open Q&A, and then I can pause it if I need to for off-camera Q&A. So any general open questions before I pause it? And we got another part right after this, but I just want to give you guys an opportunity that are here with me live. Any questions that you need to open? Let me, I think I got to give y'all permission to unmute yourself, so hold on. All right, so if you want to ask a question, you can unmute yourself at this time.
I have a question about when you were speaking about putting yourself in a box with your name. Are you able to change that after you started a business, or how does that go? Do you know?
Are you able to change it, you said?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, happens all the time. So if you're deciding good question. If you're deciding that you're going to keep the business, all your industry, you're going to stay in that industry, you're going to stick with the business, but you do want to go back and change the name. So there's a couple of things that you want to do, and some things you got to take into consideration. The first thing is, wherever you have your state registration with the Secretary of State, you want to go in and do the name change there first, okay? Because that's where it matters most. And that means your local state and your parish or your county, wherever you want to change it there first. And then that'll also let you know if the name is available. So you make sure the name is available that you want to change it to, and then change it with the Secretary of State. and all your local places. Once you've done that, you want to reach out to the IRS where you have your EIN, because remember, you're keeping your EIN, you're staying in your industry, you're just changing the name. And so in that regard, you want to do a business name change. There is a form, I don't even know, I can't think of the form name, or I mean the form number. If you need help with that, just reach out to me directly. But it's called, you go to irs.gov, irs.gov, and it's free to do that. Now the state is going to charge you. The state charge for everything. But the IRS is not going to charge you for the name change. It's a form you fill out. And I've done that with clients. That's why I can see the form in my head that you can't think of the name, but you're gonna do a business name change and fill it all out, send it in. It'll probably take them 60 to 90 days before they respond back. But once you send it to them, you can move about changing it everywhere else. But the state, you do have to get your approval from them before you start changing it everywhere else. Once you get it changed through the state, and while you're waiting on the IRS, you do want to change your website, business card, everywhere that you have your name, you want to make sure that it's very important that everything is synchronized, that your name, address, email, all those things match. Whatever's on your website is on your business card. Whatever's on your website is on the Secretary of State. You want to make sure all those things match. So I hope that answered your question.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Lakeisha, do you have a question?
Hi.
Hey.
I kind of I did want to change my name, so that was a good question, and you kind of answered that. And I did see that they charge for everything. The state charge for everything.
I know, we'd be
Um,
like, oh gosh, I gotta change it. It's just like when you get a new bank account, you gotta go through all that stuff to change all that stuff. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
but I was thinking like as far as like the clientele, because I had been doing helping people with their credit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think I would have to like be under a certain umbrella because it's foster elite business. So I guess that can be, very broad. And
Yeah,
then I would use it like if I would drive and whatnot as well. So
yeah,
um
yeah. And what I tell clients too, like you have Foster is your umbrella. On your business cards or certain websites, you can have your little tagline like, hey, for credit services. But then in your other business, you would have a different card for it. So there are two business names. There's the official paperwork name that you have behind the scene where you register with the Secretary of State and all your paperwork, checks and bank accounts, all that. You have that name. And then you have your storefront name, the name that people would see. So and sometimes it's the same for both. So you don't have to have different. So you may have a trade name, a DBA name, or you may just have a common name. So for example, I'm Martin Business Solutions, but you may see MBS. So MBS is just short for Martin Business Solutions. Nobody want to write all that out. So you'll have your umbrella name and your common name, and sometimes it's the same name, sometimes it's different. You just got to check to make sure that it doesn't have to be a trade name, or it doesn't have to be a DBA, and sometimes it doesn't. So that's something we can look at to kind of determine. So yeah, great question. Great question. All right. So I'm gonna pause it just for a second. All right, so now that the recording is paused, do you guys have any questions that you want to ask a little more freely? If not, we'll keep it rolling, and then I'll tell you at the end how to schedule a one-on-one. All right, let's get back. All right, all right, all right. So, so I'll do a recap really quick. I'm gonna go back to the beginning and kind of do a recap, kind of run through, make sure we got everything. But what I wanted to do right here is to let you know when our next class is. It is September 5th. We'll have 12 p.m. and then of course we'll have 7 p.m. and those times are central. And the topic is going to be management and marketing. The majority of the class is going to be around marketing. I'll pick up management right at the beginning. It's actually a continuance of this class. I just didn't want it to be so long and so much information that it was overwhelming. So we'll spend maybe the first 20, 30 minutes on management and then the rest of the remaining time on marketing. And so that class, and we're gonna also have some templates and things that's gonna kind of start going with some of these classes. So the next one is September 5th. And then by that time we'll have the date for the next one. So and I'm trying to keep it at the every 2-week mark, somewhere around up in there, depending on the schedule. And so, and if you guys know anybody that needs to be in this class or somebody you think would like this class, please invite them, share it. You don't have to attend all 8 classes, but it would be great if you did. And so I wanted to make sure you guys had that date. And I'm gonna go back to the beginning. And so before I go back to the beginning to do the recap, I just wanted to give you guys a chance to screenshot this or to scan the QR code. But we have some more classes listed. I do have some personal financial classes on there, and we have some other business classes that are upcoming that are already on the website at martinbusinesssolution.com, the same website you went to register for this class. And also, and I don't know how I forgot to do it, but I did, our LinkedIn group. We have a LinkedIn group, the MBS Cohort. Definitely, I'll make sure that I send out an email like, hey, sign up for that cohort, follow us on LinkedIn. Eventually, we're going to have a social media class, and we're going to also talk about how to spruce up our LinkedIn pages to help our business. And so LinkedIn is specifically for business, but you'll see people sharing personal things. So just like Facebook is strictly for personal, but people share their personal things. I mean, their business things. So LinkedIn is the flip. It's business first, a little bit of personal. Facebook is personal first, a little bit of business. And so we're going to talk about if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, you're getting started, been in business forever, your LinkedIn really should be on point. And so, but join that cohort group that we have on LinkedIn, and it's free, nothing to buy ever. All right, so I'm going to go to the beginning, and I want to recap to make sure that we have everything that we needed.
Your screen is blank. Were you sharing something with us?
Oh, it's not sharing? Oh,
No.
okay. Okay, thank you for telling me that. I'll go back. All right, can you see the screen now?
No.
I didn't hear you.
No, it's black. It's just black.
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna redo it. Thank you so much. I was going to town. All right, let me open that up. All right, I got it pulled back up. All right, share screen. All right, how about now?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. It wouldn't be perfect without some technology challenges. That makes the class perfect. All right, so we have all right, so I want to make sure that the screen changing. You see, let's get a yes.
Yes, this works.
All right, good. All right, so so the reason for getting a business plan is to also help you get a yes in for lenders or for investors, and also for yourself and for your sanity to kind of keep you on track. We also talked about who needs a business plan. If you're in the idea stage thinking about it, whether it's the first business or business number 10, if you're starting up, you just started, you're less than a year old in business, you've launched, you're up and running, you're about to acquire a business, whether that's a brick and mortar, an online, a multi-level marketing business. And a lot of people don't think to do business plans for those, but you should. If you are scaling your business, hey, like business is doing good, you're ready to go to the next level. If you're in the ownership phase and you're considering maybe selling or dissolving the business, and you also want to have an exit strategy as well. And your business plan will help you do that. You know, don't forget the research. And this is something I would do at least once a year as a business owner. You want to kind of sit back and look at, hey, what's going on in the industry? What products and services will I continue with? and so forth and so on. Will I continue to do this? Will somebody still want to buy what I'm selling? You know, like there's some things I'm like, man, we were buying that. Now you can't even find it. You know, so what's that? You know, why? Why am I doing this business? I know I was doing it this time, but till I get the kids through college. Now the kids are grown and married. You know, is that still my why? You know, that why has changed. The who's going to be on my team? Who do I want to do business with? And things of that nature. Don't forget to do your SWOT analysis. This is going to be very crucial to making sure that you don't get burnt out. There's some things you should keep in the business, and there's some things you should outsource. So, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And this is also a little sidebar. This would be a good one to ask friends and family to do for you. Like, hey, after you've done it, you say, hey, tell me 3 things you think I'm good at. Tell me 3 things I'm terrible at. Hear what they have to say. You know, or hey, what do you think I would be good at for a business? What are some opportunities you think I should take a part of? Hey, and also another set of eyes. What do you see as a threat to my business? Sometimes it's good to get a different perspective. That doesn't mean we have to change because of whatever they say, but at least let's take it into consideration. All right, so while we're here, you want a business plan so that you can strategize, stay focused, so that you're gonna be like Dory, turning every which way. And it's also a great way to help you secure funding. This is homework, your executive summary. I hope to see these pretty soon. Your company name and things of that nature. You also want to know what experience are you bringing to the table? What's the financial projection for the business? What does the business, what are the finances now? What will they be in the future? All those things. Who your target market? You want to get that executive summary together. Why you? What's so unique about you? There are 10 different ice cream shops. Why should I be coming to yours? That's really the main thing you want to answer. What is going to set you apart? There's McDonald's, there's Burger King, there's Five Guys. Why your hamburger joint? Why should we be buying hamburgers from you? What is the difference? What makes you so unique? Your vision, your mission, your goals, your objectives, and don't forget those action steps. And put some dates by those things. You want to be very specific as possible. You want to have something measurable, like what are you going to compare this to know if you're being successful? Like what's the weight measurement? Is it something that you can achieve? What do you need to achieve it? And are you being realistic? And being realistic means I might have to do step 1, then step 2, then step 3, but I can make it happen. But am I being realistic? Like what part do I have to do in it? And put some dates by it. And don't forget, above all, I don't care how great a business is, there are 2 things you want to consider. Is this the business that you're purposed to do? And does anybody know about it? I don't care how great it is. If that brings us to our next class, marketing, I don't care how great your product or service is, nobody knows it exists, you're not going to make any money. So you definitely want to be in that marketing class. Trust the process, where you're going to be, the location, all the little details. So step 1, step 2, step 3, what are the processes? Exact space, how is it going to look? Your products and services, what are they? Where are they? How are they? You want to have those steps down, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the steps are. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me. Our next class is going to be September 5th, 12 p.m. and 7 p.m. So we're going to do the same class tonight. So if you know anyone who wasn't able to make it today, you can text them and say, hey, the repeat class is going to be tonight at 7 p.m. Central. And then our next class is going to be September 5th, and it's going to be on management, a little bit on management, and the rest of it is going to be on marketing, which is going to then lead into our next session. Roughly about every 2 weeks that we'll have the classes. So, all right, and then here's the QR code that you can go to the website, check out some of our, we have an ebook for personal finances you can download there. We have some classes upcoming. We have a class on Monday, so just go and take a look around, check it out. You can also schedule your complimentary session with me. If you've taken this class on business planning, you can go and schedule a session so that we can kind of like look over it and see where you are in the process. So I hope this class has been helpful, And I look forward to working with you all and hearing about all your great stories and everything that has been going on with your business. Once again, I'm Candy Martin with Martin Business Solution. You can reach out to me at www.martinbusinesssolution.com. You can follow me on LinkedIn, and the number to the office is 985-231-7015. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.